It was supposed to be a perfect vacation, the kind of trip families dream about for months, maybe years. A luxury cruise ship gliding through turquoise waters, music echoing across the deck, strangers becoming friends under a Caribbean sky. For 23-year-old Amy Lynn Bradley, it was exactly that, until it wasn't. Because somewhere between the laughter, the dancing, and the sunrise over the ocean, Amy vanished. No goodbye, no struggle, no body, just gone. And to this day, her disappearance remains one of the most chilling, unsolved mysteries at sea. Amy Lynn Bradley was vibrant, athletic, and full of life. A recent college graduate from Virginia, she had a sharp mind and a warm personality that made people feel instantly comfortable around her. She was close with her family, her parents, Ron and Iva, and her younger brother, Brad. In March of 1998, the Bradley family boarded the Rhapsody of the Seas cruise ship for what was meant to be a relaxing Caribbean getaway. They had no idea they were stepping into a story that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. The ship departed from Puerto Rico, carrying nearly 2,000 passengers. Over the next few days, it sailed through tropical waters, stopping at various island destinations. Everything seemed normal, perfect even. On the night of March 23rd, Amy went out to the ship's nightclub with her brother Brad. They danced, laughed, and drank together. Witnesses later reported seeing Amy dancing with members of the ship's band, particularly one bassist known as Yellow. Nothing about the night seemed unusual at first. But looking back, it would become the last confirmed time Amy was seen enjoying herself freely. Around 3:35 a.m., Brad returned to their cabin. Amy followed shortly after. Their father, Ron, woke briefly and saw Amy sitting on the balcony outside their room. She was relaxing, possibly enjoying the ocean breeze after a long night. It was the last time he would ever see his daughter. By 6 a.m., Amy was gone. Her sandals were still in the room. Her cigarettes were untouched. There were no signs of a struggle, no indication that she had packed anything or planned to leave. She had simply vanished. At first, the family thought she might have gone up to the deck early to watch the sunrise. It was something she enjoyed. But as minutes turned into hours, panic began to set in. Ron Bradley immediately alerted the ship's crew. But here's where things take a disturbing turn. The crew did not treat the situation with urgency. Instead of locking down the ship immediately, they delayed. By the time a proper search was initiated, the ship had already docked in Curaçao. Hundreds of passengers began disembarking, walking freely on and off the vessel. If Amy had been abducted, this was the perfect window for someone to take her off the ship without detection. The Bradley family begged the crew to prevent passengers from leaving until Amy was found. Their pleas were ignored. And just like that, any chance of containing the situation slipped away. The official theory from the cruise line was simple. Amy must have fallen overboard. But her family didn't believe it. Not for a second. Amy was a strong swimmer. She was afraid of open water. And most importantly, there was no evidence, no splash heard, no body found, no signs of an accidental fall. Something didn't add up. As the investigation unfolded, strange details began to emerge. Multiple witnesses reported seeing Amy with the band member, Yellow, shortly before her disappearance. One witness claimed that he had been acting overly familiar with her. Another said they saw Amy looking uncomfortable while dancing with him. When questioned, Yellow denied any involvement. There wasn't enough evidence to charge him with anything, but the suspicion lingered. Then came an even more chilling claim. A fellow passenger reported seeing Amy early that morning, around 6 a.m., in an elevator with a man. Amy reportedly looked tense, almost frightened. This sighting suggested that Amy may not have fallen overboard at all. She may have still been alive, and she may not have been alone. If you're already feeling the unease creeping in, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Shadow Files, and share it with someone who loves real mysteries, because what happens next only gets darker. In the years following Amy's disappearance, multiple alleged sightings began to surface. In 1999, a U.S. Navy officer claimed he encountered a woman in a brothel in Curaçao. She told him her name was Amy Bradley, She begged for help, saying she was being held against her will. The officer didn't report the encounter immediately. By the time he did, it was too late to investigate. Then in 2005, a disturbing photograph surfaced online. It showed a woman resembling Amy in a provocative setting. The image was labeled Jazz, but Amy's family was convinced it was her. The resemblance was uncanny. Could Amy have been trafficked? Another witness claimed to have seen Amy on a beach in Barbados, walking with two men. When the witness tried to approach her, the men quickly escorted her away. Each of these sightings painted a horrifying picture, one where Amy didn't die that night, but was instead taken, hidden, trapped somewhere far from home. Despite these claims, none were ever definitively confirmed, and the official case remained unsolved. Now let's talk about the theories. The first theory is the simplest, and the one authorities initially pushed: that Amy fell overboard. Cruise ships are massive, and accidents do happen. Alcohol, fatigue, and the open ocean can be a dangerous combination. But this theory has serious flaws. There were no witnesses to a fall, no evidence of a struggle or accident, and Amy's belongings were left untouched in the room, suggesting she didn't plan to go anywhere. It feels incomplete. The second theory is far more disturbing: abduction. This theory suggests that Amy was targeted, possibly by someone on the ship. The delayed response by the crew gave the perpetrator time to remove her from the vessel once it docked. The sightings in Curaçao and beyond lend weight to this idea. If true, it means Amy became a victim of human trafficking, a fate far worse than anyone wants to imagine. The third theory involves foul play by someone Amy encountered that night. The mysterious band member Yellow remains a key figure in this theory. Was he simply a friendly musician, or did he play a role in Amy's disappearance? There's no concrete evidence tying him to a crime, but the timing and witness statements are difficult to ignore. And then there's a more unsettling possibility. What if multiple people were involved? Cruise ships are like floating cities. Thousands of people, limited surveillance, and endless opportunities for things to go unnoticed. Could Amy have been lured, taken, and hidden in plain sight? It's a terrifying thought. And finally, there's the theory that refuses to go away. The idea that Amy is still alive. Some believe the sightings are real, that Amy survived that night and has been trying to signal for help ever since. It's a hopeful theory, but also a heartbreaking one, because if it's true, it means she's been suffering for decades. Imagine knowing your family is searching for you and not being able to reach them. As the years pass, the mystery only deepens. Amy's family has never stopped searching. They've followed leads across countries, worked with investigators, and kept her story alive in the public eye. They refuse to accept the idea that she simply disappeared into the ocean. And honestly, it's hard not to agree with them, because too many questions remain unanswered. Why wasn't the ship locked down immediately? Who was the last person to see Amy alive? And why do the sightings keep appearing, even years later? Somewhere out there, the truth exists, hidden beneath layers of time, silence, and unanswered questions. And maybe, just maybe, someone knows exactly what happened. If you've made it this far, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Shadow Files, and share it. You never know who might recognize a detail, a face, or a clue that could finally bring answers. Because for Lynn Bradley, the story isn't over. It's just waiting to be solved.